Hello, my friends. I am back, sort of, with a video on YouTube. I have not created anything for YouTube in a while, and I think one of the last videos I posted actually was a Techo Kaigi like planner journal lineup. I thought that I would do a mid-year review. The videos that I do create, I put on Patreon, which basically it amounts to about one a month at this point, but I am on Patreon, and I might tell you more about that later, but I'll put a link below if you're interested in checking it out. All right, so I've got a little list here so I can try to stay on track, and I won't talk too much about everything in detail because we don't have time for that. So I'm just gonna go through the list and tell you what I am kind of still working in, whether or not I'm actually using it, if it's working well. And then of course, if you wanna compare and contrast, you can go back and look at the video. All right, I'm just gonna go in order. I'll first show you my work planner. This honkin' beast is an A5 Hobonichi cover, but I have an A5 take a note in here. And then in the back, I have an A5 Hobonichi day free. And the goal with this was that I would use this take a note for like actual planning. I have this all like, let me get this off. You know, like the day-to-day tasks and scheduled things, and then I would use the day free for more things like tracking work stuff and using the calendar for different challenges, and then like notes and, you know, like goals and places where I needed just like note paper. I could use the day free. You can see that basically there's not a whole lot in here. I mean, there's stuff in here, but there's a lot of room, even on the weeks where I was using it, you know, like using it faithfully, I guess. There's still a lot of room, and I knew that I didn't want a whole, like a daily planner for work, but I thought that maybe the smaller space, or like a week on 2 pages or whatever, would be maybe too small, though now I realize that that's just not true. I went from using Hobonichi Weeks, this is from last year, like I went from using this and cramming like everything in here, all of like work stuff, so like writing a ton, well I'm trying to find a page where I wrote a ton, writing a ton on the pages. Okay, apparently I cannot show you anything that looks, oh here, okay, here's like a long list. So sometimes I would have to do this, but the truth is I think this actually worked for me better than this, because at least here I kind of had everything in one spot, and here it's like I don't even know where to put stuff. There are so many options for where to put stuff. And let me clarify that I am an artist, and I'm getting into a lot of things this year that I've not done before, such as like licensing, and this is a process. I'm not like in it right now. I'm just like working toward that. So in the meantime, I have like Etsy and Patreon, and I'm you know, do some fine art type painting also. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts, but I also am a mom, and I stay at home with my kids. They're pretty young, but my son is going into kindergarten, and like there's just always madness going on. And so every week is up in the air as far as how much work I'll get done, what I need to get done. I don't have like, you know, I don't get to go to a studio or an office and like have work time. I have hours or days when I have work time, and I never know when those days are gonna be. Well, for the most part, I don't really know. So I'm thinking for the next year, I might not try to cram it all into a Hobonichi Weeks, but I do know for sure that I'm not gonna do this. This is just too much space for me. It's a very nice notebook. If you need a lot of space, then I recommend it. It's nice paper. It's a really nice clean layout. It is weird that the week is on 2 spreads, Monday through Wednesday, and then Thursday through Sunday. And then there's like a weekly view here for the whole week on the side, horizontal. It's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. It is confusing to me. I thought that it would be fine, but it is not necessarily that great for what I need. What I might consider doing is like maybe an A6 day free. They have those, right? With the months and then the just empty pages. Or I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have some time before next year. I do love the way that this looks, and it's an inviting space. I feel like this is confusing. When I open it up, I don't know what I'm supposed to be like. Where once I write something in here, I feel like it's lost into the black hole of like this planner. I never will find it again because it's so big. Yeah, so that's that. Probably too much talking about that, so I'll go a little faster. The next planner I have, I've already kind of shown you, is this, which I would consider my everyday carry, Hobonichi Weeks. And I put everything in here. I'm not really using the months very well this year, but I just do whatever. Anything goes in here. Sometimes it's heavier on work stuff like art making, online stuff. I don't know. What do I do? Who knows? I don't know. A lot of the time it's just like what's going on in our lives, what's happening. I use this space the most out of any of my notebooks. I'm in here the most. And one of the reasons for that is because this one is so non-intimidating. It's not intimidating. It's one space for the whole week. It's pretty small, and I get to decorate, and then I get to write some things down. And even if I skip a couple weeks, which has happened this year, I can pretty much go back and fill some things in. Like, look, this was empty, but you know what? It's fine. This doesn't bother me. Sometimes I just write in stuff. I went through a few months this year that all I wanted to do was read. I was definitely escaping from something. I kind of think it was just like the first time in a few years when it felt like life slowed down enough that I didn't have to be constantly on or like alert or like ready for that. I don't know, action. The first time that I wasn't actively stressed perhaps, but it was like residual stress. I don't know what's going on, but I was escaping hardcore, like just wanting to read, just like not reading for learning, just reading for enjoyment all the time. That's all I was doing. And you can tell that I wasn't using this a whole lot. I did keep up with Patreon, like just making some artwork and putting it on there. And that's what a lot of these things are that you see are things from my Patreon site where I have made artwork. And then I kind of use this in a way like a little portfolio type thing, or it's a way for me to kind of have a little catalog of some of the things that I've made, or my favorite things that I've made. Like, you know, these are on Patreon. So that's been nice to have just even one little spot where I can easily create something. And then It doesn't take that long. I have a catalog of some of the things that I've made. And then I have gone back to kind of using this more for work and general planning than using that other thing over there. So I might abandon that, honestly, the big one, which seems so sad. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's just so much space and I don't need that. I'm not even using the pages in the back of this Weeks. Like, I'm barely using those. So I don't know why I thought I needed all this stuff this year. So that's that. 2 honorable mentions for planners are my goal planner and my financial sort of planner. These are not even weekly. These are not like, I just have them available for when I need them. The goal one, I'm not really going to show you much, but it's just like a place where I can write down, I did decorate that, where I can kind of keep track of some of my goals. I decorated it really nicely and I haven't even written here, but this was a new idea for this year, and I like it still in theory, even though I haven't done a good job of using it. But I think what I need to do is spend some time with myself and dream a little bit more, because I'm getting to the point where I'm actively working toward my goals, and I think I need to make some even bigger goals to push through these goals. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel like this could help me if I spend some time in using it. So I would kind of consider that a planner. This in here, this is a Chic Sparrow Blue Jay Mockingbird. This poor thing has been basically just shoved in a drawer. I haven't been using it, but it's supposed to be a place where I can budget and keep track of finances and stuff, and I just haven't done it. So this has just it's not been used. It was a good idea in theory. This little notebook, I feel so sad to waste it. I'm gonna try to not waste it, but it's so cute. It's a Nolte. And I don't know. There's a lot that I was going to do this year that it's just fallen through the cracks. So I think that's all my planners. Yeah. So I'll move on to journals. Okay, so this one has gone through some changes. It's let's see, I'm gonna get out this guy. This is my Hobonichi A6 Avec, and this is the one I started the year with. And I started it kind of like how I was doing things last year, with a lot of collage, I think I was gonna draw more. I don't know. I was doing a lot of this type of stuff, and very quickly. And I'm not sure if it's the size or just my feelings this year. This got to be too, it just was not what I wanted. I didn't want to be in here. So there's a lot of blank pages. Some of them I've gone back and filled them in with stuff. Like, I started just doing these quick journaling prompts from Linda Berry. Like, just the thing, you just write a few things down. I liked that better than the collaging. I decided that I just wanted to use it for something different. And so what I decided to do towards the end of it is just basically give up on it. And, well, I was kind of trying it out here. I just wanted to use it for notes and stuff. And a little bit of stickers and washi. But mostly just, like, I just kind of gave up. There's nothing even back there. So when I started this one, I knew, first of all, that I wasn't going to fill it up with a bunch of ephemera, collage stuff, papers. Maybe some stickers and washi tape are okay, but nothing else. Like I don't really even want any glue in here, I think is what I'm going for, even though I might have already messed that up. But so what I have so far is just, it's sloppy and it's messy, and it's just basically kind of like a notepad that I have open on my desk, and whatever happens that day, I jot some things down, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. This looks pretty, but I never filled it in. This is some of my artwork, but like, I just write some things down. I'm working on a big project, or I have been working on a big project, and I needed to have space for notes, and I've been learning stuff I needed to learn, writing it down in here, and I am happy with this. I'm very happy with this. I like that I can kind of use the day if I want to, and there have been some days that I've missed, and I go back and I fill them in with notes, and that's not a big deal, or I might just put a quote or something. That's today. Sometimes I decorate, sometimes I don't. And I think the key is, for me, is that, like, this is borderline too much, but the key is I need to keep it light, because once there's a lot of bulk, I don't feel like writing on it. And what I want is, I want to feel comfortable writing in this. And I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but that's why I don't want a lot of collage-y stuff in here. Like, even this sticker is kind of thick, and it makes the page hard to bend and flip easily, and that's bothering me. So it's totally like a feeling thing, and that's just me. I don't know how to explain it, but that's what I'm going for. This is, oh, so I guess I should kind of round that out by saying I'm making this work for me. The Hobonichi A6 Avec is still going strong. I just had to change some of the ways that I used it. And instead of collaging in there, I have been collaging in my traveler's notebook, regular standard size. And I'll show you, I can't show you everything in here because it is private, but I'll do spreads. Would kind of do this style in the Hobonichi before, but I'm putting it in here instead. I've done some like travel journaling in here. This is just kind of an everything. This insert is just kind of for journaling. It used to be my commonplace book where I just wrote down quotes and things, and it wasn't getting used up fast enough, so I decided to just use it as my journal. And then also in this notebook I have a GU insert, weekly insert by Baumkuchen, and this one I'm not using very well either. I just have too many notebooks. I think that's the key. But the idea was for it to be something like a gratitude journal, or just sort of a gratitude plus just a noticing journal. And I haven't been very faithful with it. I've just used it every now and then, and it's really pretty. And that's part of the problem, is because when I get in here, I think, oh, I need to make it pretty. And so I don't want to just jot things down, because then it's not so pretty. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've already made it such like high pressure by making it so lovely. And it's a pretty big insert. It's Tomoe River paper. And honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the layout. Like, it has horizontal week, Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday here, and then this space just kind of open. I could see myself using it in the place of my Hobonichi Weeks, but I love my Hobo Weeks and I don't want to change that. So other than that, I don't know. There's something about the layout that doesn't feel so inviting to me. Maybe it's just because I'm not used to it. So the jury's still out on that one. I will continue to use it, but I just might have to ignore the days and, you know, just kind of use it as a normal journal maybe. We'll see. So this is kind of what I would consider my main journal. Like I would take this traveling with me when I might not take this. So like if I was traveling and could only take 3 notebooks, I would take these 3. And this one is pretty much always in my purse or my bag when I leave the house, so this would always be with me. And then these would, sometimes this is with me too, so this would just come along too. This one, since I'm on the topic, is a book that I made with the tutorial from Peg and Awl. I'll link it below, but I made it with Tomoe River paper and some Strathmore drawing paper, and covered it with leather from my grandmother's coat, and then stamped it. It's really special to me. Like, it's a really nice little book. I'm proud of it that I made it. I have this little TSL magnetic clip on here with my MD fountain pen. And this, I call it my observation journal because I usually write in here things that I'm either, that I come across. It's kind of like commonplace, but it's a little bit, well, it's a little bit different in that most everything in here has to do with either art making or like my inner thought life, or I don't know. It's not a straight up journal in that I don't like get in here really and write down my feelings or like the happenings of the day. But I do maybe write about something I'm thinking about. So maybe like a thinking journal, ideas. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I pretty much know when I want it to go in here. Something that I come across or that I'm thinking about that needs to go in there. Like I've written some poetry in there. I've written kind of a short little essay, if you might call it that. So anyways, that's one of my favorites. This one is what I consider my reading notebook, Camel Passport. This is a new edition this year, like since the beginning of the year. First of all, I'm surprised at how much I like the passport size. I love this little notebook. I love it so much. And then I love that I put this Mount Rainier patch on here with my little Weeping Angel charm. Yes, it just makes me so happy. The patch has some personal meaning to me, but it also looks cool. I have a new insert in here, but before I had one that had some notes in it. Reading notes, but like notes about what I was thinking after I was reading. And then this weekly insert is where I just write down what I'm reading or what books I've read, what books I've finished, or when I've started them. I've also put in other types of media, like, you know, shows that I've watched, movies, other things that I come across, like podcasts or YouTube videos or YouTubers, or things that I want to remember that I'm, I guess, consuming. So I guess you could call it my media notebook, but mostly for reading because I've been doing a lot of reading this year. And then I just have some stuff in here. So this gets used as needed. not every day, but I like to carry it around because it's so cute. These are my last two. These I have not touched this year. I don't think at all. Well, I've touched them, but I haven't used them. This notebook is my first traveler's notebook. I got it in 2016. And it is supposed to be my writing journal. So like when I write, so I am very, very slowly in the background, very slowly working on a fiction novel. And then I also occasionally write things like articles and essays and other types of nonfiction things. So I have kind of a notebook for each of those. And then in the middle, I have one of these fold out inserts that the idea was that I could maybe do mind map or sketching or I don't know, anything that I feel like should go in there. But I haven't used any of it, maybe since the beginning of the year, which is pretty sad. I'm gonna be making some more time for this in the near future. And it might not stay in this notebook, but I'm gonna make time for writing. This, I made this cover out of an embroidered piece that I made for a gallery show. And in it is a Midori, what is it called? Diary. It's a 365, I don't know. It's the one with the times and then space to write the date, and then it has the months in the beginning. It's a really nice book and I love it. The idea for this one is that it would be a perpetual journal, kind of like a 5-year journal, but instead of having slots for 5 years, I could just work in it perpetually, like forever, for 20 years or 30 years, and I could still keep adding stuff. I think it's another one of those things where I set a really high bar for myself in the beginning, and that's why I haven't worked in it, because I don't feel comfortable just coming in here and scratching something down. I do have the idea to see, okay, so I put some like watercolor stuff in here, just a few little illustrations. And I mean, this is, you know, swatching is always pretty. There's that when I got this new notebook. So that's all I've put in here, and I didn't even write anything about them. So what I think I might do is for this year, go back in and just kind of write some things down that happen, important things. That might only be like 5 things for the whole year, but I want to put it in here. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with the months. The months are specific to 2022, obviously. So I don't know what I'll do there, but I could always just collage over them or write over them, or it doesn't matter. So while I am kind of failing at this year, it is something that I plan on having for years to come. And so all hope is not lost. I still think it's a good idea. I just have had a really hard time maintaining my journaling practice this year. I've gotten back into it. I'm having fun again, but there were a few months where I just couldn't do it, and I lost the love for a little bit. But I'm back, and it's going better. And you know, even if I went down to 1 notebook and I was happy with that, then that's a great practice too. There's nothing, I mean, all this is because I love it, so there's no pressure here. That's what I'm always telling myself. If it's not fun, then I quit it. And I don't feel bad about wasting notebooks, because I don't tend to go out and buy every single notebook they come out with. But if I do buy one because I think it's going to work and it doesn't work, then I tried it. It doesn't work. So Oh well, at least I'm trying, right? I still am working. I am using these as much as I am able. So I hope that wasn't too much like thrown at you all at one time, but that it made sense. And I hope you are well. If you have any questions, please comment below. If you are using something that you think I might like better, like especially with the planners. Planners are something I'm always like having some struggle with. I don't know, let me know if anything's working for you, and I am always happy to hear from you. I will hopefully see you around. We'll see what happens. Okay, bye.